Well, hello, y'all. It is time to breathe again on this special Bofa Sports webcast.
And when we said it was coming soon, you didn't expect it 2 days later.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? It's good for us to be here. Even nice little golf clap. Yep. And so here we are. Yes, on a special Thursday edition of the Bofa Sports webcast. So this show is, I guess, is dedicated to catch some of the things we probably weren't able to discuss because during this time of the year, pretty heavy on football for our Tuesday show. So we said we'll come in and let's have a discussion about some of the other things that are going on. And knowing us, we'll probably sneak a little bit more football in there. But
especially since it's Thursday night football and the Dolphins are beating the Ravens right now 3-0.
Right, as we are talking to you, yes, the Ravens are down. And we'll start here, Patrick. We have a situation in MLB, Major League Baseball's World Series, where the Toronto Blue Jays could be the World Series champions by the next time we are coming back on the air. They are up 3-2 on the Los Angeles Dodgers, and they won 2 out of 3 in Los Angeles. And Friday night, they have the chance. Well, they have 2 opportunities, but Friday night, they come back home to Toronto and can win the World Series. This team, Patrick, I have to say, they're
different, man.
I did not know how resilient they were. I mean, that I totally missed that with this team. Because remember, we were going in.
Well, I didn't think their pitching could sustain.
Yeah,
but it is.
Well, when we came into the season, we were thinking we didn't know what the Blue Jays were trying to do.
Oh yeah. You going way back. Yeah. No, I was like, oh yeah, here we are, Toronto Blue Jays. Maybe they're a 500 team.
Yeah, right.
Maybe not.
They were going to finish last, either 4th place or last in the AL East, and here they are, a game away from winning the World Series, and this team just keeps on coming back. Now, they didn't look like they would be able to hold on to the American League East because the New York Yankees were starting to make some ground up on them, but they held on, won the division. They get into the playoffs, they take out the Yankees in 4 games in the division series. And then, of course, in the American League Championship Series, they were down 2-0 to the Seattle Mariners, losing the first 2 games at home. And then they won 4 out of 5, and here they are. And then on Monday night, Patrick, they lost the 18-inning game.
Lost an 18-inning game and then came right back and said, yeah, we'll take the next one 6-1.
Yeah.
Y'all got the last one 6-5? That's cool. We'll take this one 6-1, and we're not going into extra innings.
They won 6-2 and 6-1 on consecutive nights. And now here they are. I mean, this is crazy. I mean, look, we went in and we both had the Dodgers in 6. We felt the cheat code known as Shohei Ohtani would be too much for them to overcome. And what Toronto has done, like you said, the pitching has sustained. And Savage had a 12 strikeout, no walk game on Wednesday night. The starting pitching for Toronto is really evening out this series because going in, the starters, you would have thought the Dodgers had the advantage. And Yamamoto, who's going to be pitching for the Dodgers in Game 6, he had a complete game in Game 2 where he just gave up one run. So if the Blue Jays are going to win the World Series Friday night,
hit that guy.
Yeah,
they got to never hit that guy.
Yeah, they got to deal with that guy and see if they can get it in there. But I mean, it is just wild just watching this Blue Jays team continue to take punches, get back up, take punches, get back up. An 18-inning loss like that could that might have gutted other teams, but not this one. And I mean, I can't. Look, I'm a little shocked. I cannot say because I didn't see this coming.
I mean, look, after the comeback that they were down two games to Seattle, I was like, that team is resilient. I didn't expect them to beat the cheat code in this series, but you know what? I mean, hey, dude, somebody he must did the button sequence wrong last game because I think Ohtani had like 2 strikeouts. So, well, let me tell you. I mean, look, I'm not going to say anything about Shohei. Dude, I like this dude. I do. I mean, like, for him to do what he has done and make the money that he's made and be as humble as he has been, I got nothing but, like, positive things to say about this guy. But he better put in the right button sequence this time because you ain't got no other choice. You better hit some balls. That's all I'm saying.
And in the lineup for the Dodgers, they went cold. Yeah, they are struggling. Mookie Betts is in a real struggle right now. He can't get on base. He can't even connect on swings. He's striking out more. I don't remember Mookie Betts striking out this much in a while. He's been struggling. Freddie Freeman, he's been hot or cold.
He's been very up and down this series. I mean, when he's hot, bro, he is burning hot. When he is cold, he's ice cold. I mean, it is pretty. I haven't seen this from Freddie Freeman in years. You know what I mean? I mean, he was never like that in Atlanta when we had him. So, I mean, this lineup for the Dodgers better bring it come tomorrow night, or there's a huge celebration in Toronto. And I'm trying to get a job in Toronto, and I would have loved to be up in Toronto right now.
Yeah, I mean, the adjustments, those game-to-game adjustments they made. When they faced Blake Snell in game 1, and Snell wasn't bringing his fastball as much. Yesterday, I guess Toronto knew he was going to try to establish the fastball, and they hit 2 home runs right out the gate. Right out the gate. I think the first one was Snyder, and then the second one was Vlad Guerrero Jr. And I mean, they were both on the first 3 pitches. It was on 2-0, and I mean, it just how they go about the business. What I like about this Blue Jays team is it is constant pressure. I mean, they do not let off the gas pedal. They are always, if they're not being aggressive on or at the plate, they'll find a way to get on base, and they're trying to steal the base. And I know on Tuesday we were talking about how aggressive they were on that one play where Old got thrown out trying to score from first. But that's how Toronto goes about it.
Dude, they're so aggressive on everything.
Yes.
They're so aggressive on everything. I mean, they roll the dice in the field. They roll the dice batting. They roll the dice pitching. They roll the dice base running. It's just, you know, I have to give Toronto a lot of credit for this because, like, I was looking at that after we talked about it. And, you know, obviously we were talking about this show and I wanted to see something. So I went back and looked at a lot of the series that were, you know, in the playoffs and a few games that were like key games throughout the season just to see a few clips here and there. Dude, they're doing exactly what got them to the World Series, bro. That's insane that they were this aggressive and I didn't even notice. I didn't even notice it. Like that's what's crazy. I didn't even notice how aggressive this team was until I started looking at it, and I was like, dude, like anytime they get a chance to steal, they steal, but they don't just steal one, they try to steal 2. They're not teams that swing for. They're not a team that swings for the fences. They're just a team that swings. They take what the defense gives them, and then they take what the defense is not trying to give them. They're just an aggressive team, and I have not seen an aggressive team like this since St. Louis. Remember that St. Louis team, early 2000s? They were just so aggressive. They're just stealing bases left and right, hitting the ball. It didn't matter what it was. I mean, they did a lot of hit and runs that year. Man, I was just like, that's an aggressive team. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm Toronto is not that aggressive. That St. Louis team was like way, way aggressive. But man, you got to give Toronto a lot of credit. They stuck with what's gotten them to the World Series, and they just keep doing it. And I think that might be a difference out of what LA has seen in the past, and even in this season. It's probably the reason why Toronto is exactly where they're at. It's just they're so aggressive and they're playing well, and it's calculated aggression. That's what's key. It's calculated aggressiveness. So you got to give them a lot of credit, man. They're just playing really good ball, and they're just taking everything and leaving nothing on the table.
They're very loose. You could just tell by the way they're playing. There's a sense of calmness about them that they belong here, and the moment is not getting the best of them. And they're the ones who are playing sound baseball, and the Dodgers are not. The Dodgers have had some errors, some bad judgments. I think it was Teoscar Hernandez, when the Dodgers were down 2-1 in Game 5, he decided to try to make a dive at a ball that he was not going to catch that ball, but he made a dive. It's that split decision. If you're not going to get there, you gotta hold that to a single.
Yeah, you gotta pull back, field the ball, and get it in. You can't dive for a ball that's not playable.
Yeah, and instead it turned into a triple because Toronto's base running. They're like, oh, what? You let that get by you? Oh yeah, this is going to be an easy triple. And so, sure enough,
he could have been in the park home run if he didn't like baby pedal it after first, and then he saw the dive and then he took off again. It could have been an in the park home run, but I get it. I see what he was trying to do. He knew that he wasn't going to get to it, but he didn't know if he was going to dive or try to play it. And as soon as he took off and he dove, gone.
Yep. So then you have a runner on third and sacrifice fly. Now It's 3-1. And it's just one of those things where the judgments, the split decision judgments, those are going Toronto's way too. They're just playing smart ball, and they're not really beating themselves. The Dodgers are used to putting that pressure on other teams, and they're the ones we always hear pressure breaks pipes. And right now, Toronto is the one that's applying the pressure, and they have a chance to have a huge celebration right there in Toronto.
It's close out games, so you kind of expect them to close it out. So
yep. And so we'll see. We'll be watching, see how it turns out Friday night, and if there is a Game 7, that will be Saturday night, also in Toronto. But the Dodgers
are tough to play a baseball game on a Friday night when it's Halloween.
Yeah.
I will say this before we move on. I will say this: that Toronto team, I kind of feel like when they made the playoffs, they kind of felt like they were playing with house money in a lot of ways, and they had nothing to lose because dude, name one person that expected Toronto to be in that position before the playoffs started. Name one person.
Yeah, not outside of the people who live in Toronto.
Yeah. Well, if you have everybody, already counting you out before the season started. So if you make the playoffs, now you're playing with house money, right? So now they have nothing to lose. And we have said it many, many times. And like I said, I can't believe we didn't see it. We didn't see it. When you play a team that has nothing to lose, that's a dangerous team. It's a very dangerous team because at that point they're like, yeah, we could win it. Nobody's expecting us to. So let's go play loose. Let's just play baseball. And the teams that play tight, Boston, LA, Milwaukee, everybody was expecting these teams to go all the way to the World Series. And this is the one team that is playing loose. The one team that's playing loose. And now they have the Dodgers on the ropes. And to be honest with you, a loose team to a Dodgers team that is really tight. And I know I had the Dodgers in 6. Dude, it's probably going to be Toronto in 6.
Yep, and so we'll find out on Friday night if it is Toronto in 6, but they're sitting in a really good position though.
Yeah, 2 games at home, closeouts.
So let's look at another topic. And so, Patrick, we had talked a little bit about the NBA gambling scandal that had happened with the announcements, the FBI making announcements of arrest and in the range in, I guess, a gambling scandal that includes betting and poker games and whatever else. But we had mentioned the Chauncey Billups part of this. And
you know what? Before we get into that, just a huge shout out. Just one huge shout out real quick. Austin Reeves hitting his first buzzer beater game winning shot. Congrats, dude. Congrats. That was a hell of a shot too.
Yeah. The Spurs look pretty good too.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'll say.
No, hey, Victor Wembanyama.
And he's added 15 pounds.
Yeah,
it looked like it. Buddy added 15 pounds.
That dude's a problem.
He's a problem.
He's a huge problem right now, and it might be that
emphasis on huge.
Yeah, He's looked like he literally does not look like he has a weakness in his game at all. And the Spurs team is young as well. Aaron says, quietest World Series ever, no news coverage. Aaron, to me, that's a crime.
It is. But baseball has slowly been going in this direction.
Yeah.
It really is.
Because this World Series deserves coverage. I mean, it has been a very good series up to this point.
Dude, probably one of the best World Series I've seen in 10 years.
Yeah. So, yeah. And I'm not understanding why it's so quiet. Because normally what people will say, the market sizes, I don't know. Because, I mean, outside of, if it's not like LA and New York, like you had last year, it's going to be, he said, they played last night. And that's crazy because, again, this has been a good series. Like I've watched a good amount. I stayed up the whole night for Game 3.
I didn't.
And I wasn't going to, but I was 15 innings in, and by that time, it's a commitment. I'm too far into it.
Hey, Charles, what if I told you? Now, if I was at that game, oh, bro, you would have heard me every inning after the 9th inning. What do I say, Charles?
Free baseball.
Free baseball. Free baseball. Free baseball.
Yeah.
2 games in one night, and you don't even have to move. That's like, dude, that's like awesome.
And this series it's been a good one. And what Major League Baseball, on that note, Patrick, or Aaron, when you're talking about no news coverage, if they don't fix this labor situation, there ain't going to be no coverage at all. And they have a year to fix this. Do not, if you are Major League Baseball and the owners and the players union, all these people, I know deadlines make deals, but do not wait until the deadline to go ahead and get this fixed. Major League Baseball, even though Aaron did point out there's not a lot of coverage. But Major League Baseball is at a better spot now than they have been in what, Patrick, last 10, 15 years?
15 years. All the scandals and crap that they've been going through, they're finally through that point where they can, but they do need to start advertising, and it doesn't need to be at local markets and letting the teams push their local market. I mean, it's a crime when, I mean, like, a lot of people know who Shohei Ohtani is, right? Outside of Atlanta, there might not be many people who know who Albies is. Like, that's crazy to me. But everybody in Atlanta will know who he is. But what if he goes to Cleveland? Not many people know who he is. So he could go out and he'd just be another dude. You know what I mean? Shohei can't do that because MLB has really marketed him in a good way, and they're starting to get their wits about how to market. Because I mean, you look at Ronald Acuna. Everybody don't know who he is.
Aaron Judge too. Everybody don't know who he is. But I really think that they need to pick one person out of all of these markets and start diving deep into marketing these teams and these players so that they can start getting some funding for marketing for like World Series, because it's a shame that they're not getting any coverage on baseball. It's a shame. I mean, ESPN used to have a show that was literally dedicated to baseball, and now nothing. Yeah, you're not going to see that unless you go to the MLB network, really.
Yep. And
another thing on the coverage, even the people on Fox Sports are saying it. So if you listen to the announce crew, which is Joe Davis and John Smoltz, if you listen to them, they will say, especially at the beginning of the series, they'll always say, well, if you haven't watched this Toronto Blue Jays team and you thought the LA Dodgers were just going to run over them, like, that's how they begin their synthesis. So they realize there's a lot of people who might not know how good this Blue Jays team is and what they have done throughout the course of the season. It shouldn't take until this time, World Series time, to know
realize how good they really are.
Yeah, and it'll be on ESPN 95. That's German. The music. But it is crime, and MLB, they're at a good spot now where it looks like they are starting to look more into advertising these teams and these players past the regional market.
Yeah.
But if they don't get this labor thing fixed by the end of next year, then that it could really hurt baseball to the tune of even your hardest MLB fans might not want to come back because they're just tired of all this stuff.
Yeah. I mean, dude, you've heard me say, dude, name a year minus the past 3 years where I told you, like, just give me college baseball.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And dude, before that, MLB, college baseball, I'd watch it all. Little League World Series, college baseball. I'd even go to high school games. So, I mean, all the way up to MLB. And I mean, dude, I have 2 TVs in my office room, and both of them used to run games. I haven't turned them on in months. You know what I'm saying? Unless the Little League World Series is on, and then, obviously I'm watching that, and then I'll put up my stock tickers on the other one. But MLB can't do what NHL is doing. NHL is just like, we're good with our diehard fans. We're good with that. Let's go. You can't do that in baseball, not with the contracts that you're putting in place. I mean, Shohei is making $70 million a year. He's got a 10-year contract, $700 million.
And he just brings another audience from Japan as well.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Dodgers made a very good investment in that one, but NHL is not making deals like that. MLB is, so they better start bringing some people in so that they can foot the bill.
Aaron says the only more obscure baseball than MLB is college, at least in his eyes. So, Aaron, you're not off base here, because in college, as you know, I'm pretty sure, if it's not football or basketball, it's just not going to have the eyes in it, because those two sports have these billion-dollar contracts with whatever station. I mean, and it's not even, it's more about the conferences, really. I mean, the contract the SEC has with ESPN now. The Big Ten has contracts with Fox and CBS and NBC to air their football games.
Yep.
And the ACC and Big 12, they have their separate deals with ESPN and Fox, respectively. And so with baseball, if it's not showing on the SEC, so Aaron also says it's just oversaturated with the amount of games. They never mean anything. College is better with less series. Yeah, I mean, I just think with baseball. So me personally, I think it's in a good spot with the series. What do you think, Patrick? Like, with the college series?
Oh, I love the format. I love the format because I like the regional. Then you get to go from your regional, and then you play a 3-game series with whoever wins that, and then you go into a super regional, and then you get your. I love the format in college. I think it's really good because you get more teams to go in. But at the same time, I mean, like, it wouldn't bother me if they went into a series like what MLB does, but I hope they don't. I love what they did because it's like 3 games. You got 4 teams playing 3 games, and then let's go, keep going. I like that.
And it's double elimination.
Everything is, everybody has their opportunity. Everybody. You want a better seed, win more games. Simple as that, simple as that. I mean, obviously you get against somebody like Vanderbilt or what was that other team? Vanderbilt, Texas. What was that other team from Texas?
UTSA.
UTSA. 2. Those can play. Yeah. Rice. Sometimes you get a good. I mean, Rice is one of those teams where it's just like either they're going to be dominant or they're just not. You know what I mean? So if you get a team that should possibly win the regionals, nowadays you don't get that now, especially with the transfer portal and NIL and all that stuff. But teams like Tennessee has proven that transfer portal is just not where it's at in baseball. It's great in football, not where it's at in baseball. Because it's just a harder sport to play, man. Name another sport where you fail and get paid millions. There you go. Oh, he hit 300? Give him $100. Give him $1 million for that.
Well,
dude, that's a 30.
Patrick, you just pointed out college football on Tuesday's show. You get fired and you get a $54 million buyout.
Yes. See how that happens in baseball.
Yeah.
No.
So we're gonna come back to that. I mean, yeah, the QB position for the Arizona Cardinals, boom, roasted pass. Yeah, there's some quarterbacks who are probably somewhat overpaid.
Yeah, a few,
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins made 50 cents, and that dude's overpaid.
Yeah. He said, boom, roasted, Pat. Love it. Well, look, so we're going to get to a little bit of football because there's some other coaches who might get fired depending on the results coming up. But So with this gambling scandal in the NBA, I wanted to point this out real quick, Patrick, because now the NBA, in light of what had happened with Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier and the former player Damon Jones being indicted in this FBI raid, basically. One of the things that came up with Chauncey Billups in particular was there was a game where people pretty much knew he was going to sit players out. And now all of a sudden they're like, hey, he's going to sit these players. You might want to take whatever it was. Could have been the over undervalue. That particular night, I guess they were playing the Bulls, and Portland was basically tanking for the rest of the season. So now the NBA apparently wants to take another look at load management. And to me, see, if it takes that, it takes the FBI arresting people based off of these allegations for you to look at load management, what are you doing? Adam Silver, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. What are you doing?
Dude, right there is the guy that should be arrested.
Like, what are we doing here? And now all of a sudden we want to look at load management, well, more in depth. Come on, man. Look, load management, number one, shouldn't be a thing to me. Look, go out there and play. If you're injured, that's one thing. I understand you being injured and you physically cannot go. Well, these people sitting out because of rest, you know.
Oh, coach, I'm tired. Man, long the days, dude. I miss the days when people would like, nah, I'm playing. You got 2 broken legs. I'm playing.
I'm out there.
I'm playing. These people paid to watch me play. I'm playing. Man, I miss those days, dude. I miss those days. These people come. Nah, don't tell anybody. They still got to sell tickets. They still got to pay my salary because I still make $150,000 today. So, but don't tell nobody. But I'm gonna sit out.
It just seems to be. It maybe it's just me, and whoever's watching, you could go ahead and tell me if I'm wrong about this, but it just seems to be a big problem in the NBA. It doesn't really happen in the other sports. And I know, so in the NFL, there's only so many games, and college, there's only so many games you're going to play. But those players aren't missing games that they can play. In baseball, I know there's a whole bunch of games. There's 162, but those players are out there. Like every now and again, you'll get a person, maybe it's a catcher, who says, hey, man, look, rest me for this day, man. My knees are cracking up here. I got older bones, and I've been in a crouch position for 5 straight nights. I might need to chill.
I mean, and yes, there might be somebody that says that, but
it doesn't happen often.
That's far and in between. Even with now,
it doesn't happen often. Like that's what I'm saying.
Knee down, you got kickstand stance, secondary position. I mean, there's a lot that catchers now can rest their knees. I mean, it's like even when I was a catcher. I always caught knee down because it was just more comfortable. Now these catchers are catching in comfortable positions that allows them to have longevity as far as like maybe not catching 3 or 4 games. Now they can catch 6, 7, 8, 9 nights in a row because it's not as bad on their knees. And even when I'm coaching catching, that's what I tell people. Like, no, you're a catcher, but let's be comfortable behind the plate because it's a tough position to play. And when I'm telling these kids how to do it, it's just like, you got to be comfortable and put that knee down. If you need rest them, because there's going to be innings where you have 1, 2, 3, back to the dugout you go, get ready to hit. Then there's some where I've seen them go through the lineup twice. That's a long inning, and you're barely getting water. Trying to get right back at it. You don't even get time. So, I mean, you rest your knees, but yes, you're right. Longevity of those catchers now is like 6 or 7 games, and then you need to rest them. Or you get a pitcher out there that just requires this catcher opposed to the starting catcher.
Yeah, and then in hockey, Same thing. They play 82 games just like the NBA does, but those players aren't missing games. If they could be out there, they're out there.
Yep.
And
There's times where I've watched a goalie play 82 games. That's a tough position, and they play all 82 of them. 100 pounds of pads. Tell me how if that's easy. It's not. Believe it.
Yeah, so I mean, I just think with the NBA, it's like something has to happen. And I know on this show we have talked about some relegation. Now, obviously, we would have to see what league they could take some teams out of there. But over there in Europe, you know the model over there. You're in the English Premier League. If you're in the bottom three, you're getting relegated. And they also have, which this is something that the NBA has started doing with the Emirates NBA Cup. You have your in-season tournaments. In Europe, man, they have a tournament for everything. I mean, if you're not in the English Premier League, you can play in your FA Cup, your EFL Cup. You got the Champions League that they play in. But it keeps the players engaged. And even if you are on the bottom half, you lose, you're relegated. You are out of that league. So there's no reward for tanking.
Yeah.
And that's what happens with you get the last pick.
Or there's no punishment for tanking.
Right. Like there's nothing. So you can tank and then you may get the first pick. Like in the NFL, you're gonna
get a lottery. Oh, yeah. We get tank and we get Cooper Flag.
Yeah.
Look, I would be honest with you, man. You tank. First thing I'd say is if you are tanking and we can see it its own purpose, you go from first to last. You don't get any picks. You don't even get a first round pick. Let's put it that way. You don't get a first round pick. It's just like this. And I know I'm going way off topic when I say this. Government shutdown. Hey, look, you want to stop a government shutdown? Every time the government shuts down, we don't pay taxes. How fast do they come back to work then?
Yeah. Yes, because the Congress members are taxpayer funded. Yes.
Yeah.
So
the taxes. Hold on. We're get something going. 30 days. My ass.
Yeah, it's pretty pathetic. But yes.
Probably the best our country's been ran in 50 years though. That's what's sad. This is probably like the best we've been in 50 years. No government to tell us anything.
And so, yes, the gambling scandal. This one is now. It puts the NBA now. You're in the spotlight, and the reason being is just simply put, the FBI is involved now, and so the FBI is involved. There are some processes they're going to have to look at. And if you're Chauncey Billups or Terry Rozier or any of Jonte Porter last year, who was banned for life from the NBA, I'm still just wondering because, look, I don't know their spending habits. Nobody knows their spending habits. Nobody knows what they're doing with the rest of this money. But what we do know is they're paid pretty damn well. So what are you doing getting caught up in a scandal over a few $1,000s? And even going into the NFL, remember with Calvin Ridley, when he got in trouble for a $1,500 parlay. They're like, dude, you're making millions of dollars. Why are we getting caught up?
Yeah, but he wasn't even gambling on football, though.
Yeah, but
gambling on another sport. But
yeah, and so, but I'm just wondering, like, well, still though, why? Like I said, I can understand. Like if it's you and I, we want to lay down a little bit of bet and stuff. And even if you do have a little bit of money, all right, $1,500. All right, cool, man. I could go ahead. I could put that down on a bet. But man, we getting involved with mafias.
Yeah.
Like, we are.
That's where I draw the line. Like, look, you want to gamble. Cool, do it. Right. Don't bring the mafia involved. Hey, look. Okay, first of all, let me say this. nothing against the mafia. I don't need them knocking on my door.
You're right.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Hey, we cool, mafia. We
Yeah.
cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, you know, like everybody else, you know, like don't involve the mafia, but mafia,
Yeah.
we cool. We cool. Bro, you know.
But if you are like these dudes who have carved out a living for yourself,
you're making millions.
Yeah,
I'll risk it on 100,000. You got millions, dude.
yes. So that's the part I'm not understanding there, especially with Chauncey Billups. What are you doing? Because you are a head coach. You are supposed to coach grown men, grown men, and you are the example of what, like, you're a mentor, basically, whether you want that title or not. You are a mentor to these guys, to these men, and you out here doing this. You can't mentor anybody if you out here doing this, you know.
unless you're trying to mentor gamblers.
He needs to go through us.
You know what? It's hard. It's hard when ESPN is shoving it down your throat.
No, yeah. The stations and the leagues do not do any favors.
No.
They do no favors over there. You go to
you should bet. Well,
gamble responsibly.
You shouldn't because you're a coach. But everybody else should gamble. Except for you, Chauncey, you can't do it because you're a coach. You can go to jail. But you, Patrick,
gamble
lay that
responsibly.
money down, dog.
Gamble responsibly, though.
Yeah, drink responsibly.
Because if you go to these stadiums, you go to arenas. I mean, we were talking earlier how I could go up the street. I could go up to Capital One Arena where the Wizards and the Capitals play, and there is Caesar Sportsbook inside the arena.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, I mean, all these places, you go to the Nats Park, that MGM is right there. And then you have all these advertisements, all these betting companies, whether you're talking about FanDuel or DraftKings, like it's blatantly in your face. Watch any of the games, advertisements all day with all these things. And so
you're starting to see logos on the floors.
Yeah, you see the logos on the floors. And so, I mean, it just seems counterintuitive when you will hear these leagues say, well, we want to make sure that we encourage responsible gambling, but here it is all in your face. Good luck. You know, yeah. It's wild. And now you have this. It's going to be interesting to see how the NBA deals with this going forward, because now that, like, this is a head coach, it's not just a player. And I'm not trying to lessen the impact of a player. Obviously, if it was like a bigger name player, if it was one of the people, like they are.
If it was me and I was out there playing and I'm going against some secondary defense that sucks, I'm gonna lay a buck on me. Go out here and get me 100 yards. Hell yeah, I am. And then I'll deal with the repercussions later.
But
especially if I'm like plus 20,000 and I might not get 100 yards and stuff like that. I'll be like.
But now you have a head coach in this. And so now this is one of the guys that you are counting on to be the example of what to do and not to do.
Yeah, kind of the face behind the face of the organization.
Yes.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, that's tough. Especially a high profile player, now coach like Chauncey Billups. Yeah, I mean, it's just like Jason Kidd or Steve Kerr. You know, if you're a high profile coach but nobody knows you, or you're a high profile coach and everybody knows your name, that's kind of hard. Even if you're the face behind LeBron James, you know what I mean. But if you're just some off the wall coach, like for example, if the 76ers hired me, do you think I'm gonna be out there gambling? Yes, I am, because they got me dirt cheap. I don't know nothing about basketball like that.
It got me turkey.
So yeah, I'm gonna be like, get my winnings from this game. I'm gonna throw it a little here and there.
But Patrick, this is all alleged. This is all alleged. My man,
Yeah, allegedly, I would gamble if I was. Yeah,
but my man allegedly was in a scheme where there was poker tables that was reading the cards from the bottom.
Allegedly. Allegedly, the mafia was there.
Yeah. Like what, dude? Like, what are we doing? Jeez. So we'll see how this materializes. But before we head on out, we're gonna talk a little bit of football. Aaron had pointed out the QB position battle for the Arizona Cardinals. Look, hey,
At least there's a battle in Arizona now,
and I hope they beat Dallas on Monday night. So, it'd be a homecoming for Kyler Murray. You know, like that's where he was a 3-time state champion there in the DFW area. So it'd be a little bit of a homecoming. And also over in college. So now, Patrick, you know, we have talked about how hot the seats have been, and well, now burnt for 3 of the coaches in there in Arkansas, Florida, and last week in LSU. Kentucky plays Auburn this week, and man, whoever loses that game, man, they might be next.
Man, dude, I'll be honest with you. I think it don't matter who wins or loses.
And so, man, there's going to be, it just seems like there's going to be a lot of jobs open coming up. But again, man, it's about, it has to be about fit, and you can't just get this name. So look, I'll use this as an example. So you remember when we were talking about Dabo Swinney, who might be hot if Duke beats them.
There might be a lot of job openings.
Yeah.
To me, it's just like an old dirty condom. Everybody's gonna get to use it.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, we just continue to use these same names, these same jobs. It's ridiculous. And so,
look, Clemson. I mean, your boy's sitting right here.
I'll use the transfer portal. I promise. Like,
I'll be pulling everybody. Dude, I'll call Atlanta and be like, hey, like Penix. Come back for a minute.
Come back to college for a year.
Come back for a year. Dude, you're injured. What are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Hell, Kirk Cousins might win in college.
Kirk Cousins.
Nah, he wouldn't. Never mind. Forget I said that.
You talk about getting checks. Kirk Cousins has managed to get a lot of checks, like fully guaranteed checks.
How do they guarantee? Look, hey, give me a full guaranteed check, and I can guarantee you I may not win or may not lose. Yeah. Let's see how the game goes. Play it by ear.
And so, like, but back to those coaches in these conferences. See, if you have Dabo Swinney, if you have Dabo Swinney get fired, let's say he gets fired, Clemson decides to move on from him. Now, you know he's going to be one of the hot names out there because he's free, and his resume says he's a 2-time national champion. He had a lot of success in terms of winning the ACC. I want to say 8 out of the last 10 years. Mm-hmm. Clemson has won the ACC.
You sure as hell ain't winning it this year?
No, that doesn't. It's okay. That was my fault for going with history. But
history pointed in that direction.
But speaking of the history, that's what people are going to look at. So if Dabo Swinney is out there, so if I'm an athletic director, let's say, hey, because of Dabo's resume, I want to bring him in. First thing I'm telling him is, and you can use Mike Gundy here too. I remember Aaron pointed out Mike Gundy on Tuesday. If we're going to bring these coaches in who have had some success at the programs they were at, the first thing you have to tell me is you have to be willing to evolve. If you're not willing to evolve, if you're not willing to
Don't waste my
be with
time.
today, you're not willing to be with today's times, there's the door. There's
Yep.
the door. Get out.
You know who is with today's times, Eric? You know who's with today's times? JG Wentworth.
JG Wentworth, yes, exactly.
He'll go to the transfer portal.
Yeah. He had his number on there and everything. And so, yes, that's what we have to look at. If you're the athletic director of these colleges, or if you are in the NFL, NBA, wherever else, you need to see. You can't just hiring a person because of the name. That's not going to cut it. I'm sorry, because he did great. He did great wherever he was at, if he did great at all, wherever he was at. But again, these contracts, and we have to get this in our heads. Well, Patrick and I have this in our heads, not trying to toot our own horns. But if
I toot my horn. I'll toot my own horn.
But if you are going to, you're not hiring that person for as much what they did in the past as much as you are what you feel you can get from them in the future. So if you're going to bring on Dabo Sweeney or Brian Kelly or Billy Napier or any of these other coaches who have been fired, there has to be some buy-in, and there has to be something that comes up for the future. Meaning, if I bring you to LSU or Florida, look, man, we're trying to get back to prominence. Historically, we're one of the better programs in the nation. We're tired of being middle of the pack, maybe bottom of the road, whatever it is. There has to be something that says we can get back to prominence. Like Steve Sarkisian, when it came to bringing him to Texas, he was the smart hire. And I'm glad they went that way, because you heard the names. Hey, get Urban Meyer here. Let's see if we can get Nick Saban out of Bama. And it's like,
Stark is the man.
Yeah.
But Stark needs to, but again, here we are. If we're going to talk about evolution, Stark needs to be willing to give up that OC and say, I need to hire somebody for that. Worry about the head coaching part of it and let whoever he hires do the OC. If he's not willing to do that, Charles, I hate to say it, like, he might not be the man in Texas.
Yeah, he's got to continue to evolve. Yeah, everybody, it's a continuous evolution of the times, and it has to happen year in, year out. When you're at the end of the season, you have to be able to look at these processes to see what is working and what is not working. If it means you give up some play calling duties, by all means, you need to be able to do it. Yeah. And I think that it just speaks so loudly to how good Nick Saban was. For him to be there for 17, however long. Well, yeah, his first year was 2007, and he left after the 2023 season. So we got 16 years that he was doing this at a very high level, and it took evolution. It took evolving with the spread offense, being able to use some of the NIL.
Did not like that, and Lane Kiffin was like, "It's the way."
Yep.
That's the reason why I'm telling you, man, like, Lane Kiffin is just freaking mind-boggling how good at offense he is.
He's got to win, though, Patrick. You talk about evolution.
He's got to win. He's got to win.
Yeah. And then on top of that, before we head on out, because we were talking about hot names, he's hot for LSU, he's hot for Florida, but is that a step up now? I know what it was historically. That's how I feel about it. You know,
if you win a championship, you'll love why you stayed there.
Yeah, because I understand what it was historically, but now, as we sit here now, is the LSU job that much better than what he has at Ole Miss? Is the Florida job that much better than?
I would be honest with you. I wouldn't be surprised if Ed Orgeron comes back to LSU.
He could. I mean, that's the most recent time they've been successful, because until then, LSU hadn't won since 2007. Florida hasn't won a championship since 2008, and they've had 4 main head coaches there during that time. They had Will Muschamp. They had Jim McElwain. Remember him? Uh, Dan Mullen, and now Billy Napier. And then there was 3 interim coaches after those guys got fired. I mean,
Yep.
so if you want to be technical, they've had 7 head coaches since Urban Meyer left. And that's too many. Like that, you can't get those.
And here we are back again. Let's reiterate culture. If you have 7 coaches, you're never going to develop a culture that allows you to win. That's not a winning culture. That's a losing culture. And that's the reason why where you're at is where you're at.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So again, you find the right fit, find the culture, build that culture, put the person in, and let it go. That's the reason why Georgia was so successful coming from Mark Richt, because Mark Richt has put a great culture in place. Now, and I've said this many times, many years back, we were never going to win a championship with Mark Richt. Never. We needed him to build our program. And it took him 15 years to get there. But when he finally got there, I mean, dude, we were the last team in the SEC to have an indoor facility. Think about that. We didn't get our indoor facility until 2022. That's crazy. Crazy.
Yes.
So Mark Richt wasn't going to build Georgia or win with Georgia, but we needed him to build it. And then once Kirby Smart came in, Kirby Smart was handed the keys to the freaking kingdom. All he had to do is put a quarterback in place, and we were going to win. What did he do? Put a quarterback in place.
Well, hey, so look, we're about to head on out for this edition, this special edition of the Bofa Sports webcast. That is what we are breathing on for this evening, and we hope you enjoyed this special special cast. Be looking for more in the future. Until then, y'all visit the Bofa Sports YouTube channel, smash that subscribe button, and follow the Bofa Sports Facebook page. Aaron, thanks for coming on in. So I know the Arizona Cardinals QB position is a sore spot, but I think it'll get better because I don't think Kyler Murray will be there that much longer.
Hey, look, you can only hit rock bottom. There's only one way to go but up. Hey, look, and you can take that from me. Trust me. I'm an Atlanta Braves fan. I'm an Atlanta Falcons fan. I'm an Atlanta Hawks fan, and a Georgia Bulldog. I've been there. Used to own the place.
So,
and in Atlanta Falcons, we still do.
So, Aaron, thanks. Appreciate it. Appreciate you coming on in. And for the rest of the people, no rants, Patrick. We're about to get on out.
Hey, dude, so, Georgia all day, baby.
And so, everybody else who tuned in, we appreciate y'all tuning in. And look out for more shows like this. Just pop-ups from our normal Tuesday show, our normal Tuesday webcast. So until then, everybody take care. Happy Halloween for everybody, and enjoy the games coming on up. Y'all take care.
And go Dogs.